Hi, I'm Reverend Ali Bierman. Thanks so much for joining me today for the gathering of Metaphysical Ministry International. What are we all about? All about going beyond your five senses, all about knowing the reality that exists out there that's more than what we see, touch, hear, sense, taste, smell. Our five senses are very limiting to us, and they prevent us from knowing all that is, all the possibilities that already exist, and all that can be. We begin with a happy share. It's time to focus on the positive, on what makes you feel good. And this isn't about your friends or your parents or your kids. It's about what makes you feel good. So what happened for you this week? Well, this morning I had a very, very cool experience with a spirit that's in another dimensional level. It's something to see and taste and smell. I guess we could taste it anyway. More about that in just a bit. But had a very, very interesting, cool experience because I know there's more to life than just me and you and what I see and what my five senses allow in. So what I'm going to do right now about those other dimensions, because, and I know you've heard me say many times, that what we actually experience is like a grain of salt compared to the experience of the entire universe, which would be, compared to that grain of salt, the height of the Empire State Building in New York City. That's how minuscule is the amount, the world that we can bear witness to. There's so much more to life. And how can you know about that so much more? Begin. You can begin by connecting your higher self. Now, I've told you in previous weeks how to do that. I told you how to get a yes-no answer. I told you how to find out when your higher self is communicating with you. Let me expand on that a bit right now. Your higher self is that part of you that's connected to the all is one. Your higher self is your eternal soul. It lives on, knows everything about you, past, present, and future. As such, it has 100% reliable, accurate information for you. And when you live with your higher self internalized in your being, you will always have that knowing. You will hear the voice. You will notice what you're supposed to notice as messages coming from you, because your higher self guides you every moment of your life. When you live in that truth, when you know that fact, you can let go of all fears, because fear is never ever in the present moment. Fear is something you made up using your imagination, or rather misusing your imagination, taking an experience from your past, making it even bigger and saying, oh no, it's going to happen again in my future. That's your imagination. It's not real. When you live in the present moment, and you know what? You can only live and be right now, and now, and now. Be in touch with your higher self that communicates with you now, and now, and now. There is no fear. And sometimes our messages are quite interesting. Was that a message coming from another dimension? It probably was, but I'll fix that. Anyway, getting back to where we were. So communicating with your higher self is what's going to make all the difference for you in how you live your life every day. So let's see, how can you communicate with yourself so that you're open to the messages? Expand your awareness of your environment around you. Notice music that's playing in the background, no matter where you are. Notice the ambient sounds in nature. Now, I said I'd tell you more about communicating with something from a spirit that exists in another dimension. Let me share that right now. I'm going through a cleanse, a physical cleanse right now. and really, really doing some major cleansing. And when I woke up this morning, I just didn't feel too right. I was feeling crummy, and I thought, what am I going to do today to feel better? Because I know I get to choose how I'm feeling. And yeah, cleanse is a real physical thing, because I'm getting rid of stuff. Well, the whole point is to feel better. Well, anyway, I was feeling not so great. And because I was paying attention to my environment, I heard the sound of a bush brushing against the kitchen window. I was in the kitchen at that time. Well, here's the thing. There was no wind blowing. There was no reason for the bush to have moved that way. And there it was, leaning on the window. And when I looked at it, and I asked mentally, because you can speak telepathically when you choose to, with animals, with creations in nature, and I asked if it was trying to get my attention. And it did say, yes, come out and see me, you'll feel better. Now, this might sound a bit weird if you've never communed with nature, if you've never gotten messages. I've been doing it since I was a little kid. When I was growing up, I spent a lot of time in treetops. I love to climb trees. I feel the energy of trees. I feel their power. I feel their messages. And they do tell me things. Not exactly in words, in feelings that are very clear what they're saying. Well, anyway, I went out and I discovered this was no little bush. I'm staying in a friend's house at the moment, and this bush actually on the entire side of her home. So I went over to the particular branch that had gotten my attention, and it still lay against the window where it was this morning. And it was letting me know just to hold it, to touch it, to feel it. So I put my hands on it, and this most extraordinary energy came flooding right out of the bush and filled me. It filled me with a peace and a calm and a power. And I guess you could say a healing. So I don't have to feel that anymore. In fact, I'm still going on with my cleanse, but I feel really good right now. Because of the energy that came from my friend, the bush. Now, if that sounds silly, remember that we're all connected and all is one. It's every spirit. That's the trees and the grass. It's the animals. It's the water. It's the sky. And it's also the rocks. And the things that some people say are dead, are inanimate. They have amazing energy. I used to make jewelry and sculptures from stones, from rocks, from wood. And I could feel the different energy pieces. I have books explaining the different energies you get from the different kinds of stones and woods. And getting back to my friend the bush, it's a conifer in the pine family. And as a specialized kinesiologist who works with oils, I know I often use oils that are conifers. They are very, very much healing and cleansing oils. So open yourself to the dimensions around you. Listen for what's going on, because when your higher self is directing you, it just might be directing you to hear the sound of a bush brushing against a window. In our sanctuary, we have a tree of life, and on the tree of life are names of people and pets. And every day I say a blessing, remembering that not only are we all connected, but each of us is a whole and perfect divine spirit. And often because we live under illusions, we may see someone as suffering or struggling. But the fact is they're whole perfect divine spirits. And every morning when I talk about each name that's on that tree of life, I recall that truth, speaking directly to the All is One, the God Force, the Life Force, Source, Creator, whatever word you choose to use. And we see healings happening for the names of the people that's on the tree of life. Healing does not always mean getting better, and healing means leaving the planet. It always means being at peace with exactly who and how you are in the moment. So if you have a name you want to add to the tree of life, scroll down, fill it in the comment section. I will get it and I will get back to you about exactly how we put a name on the tree of life. If you have a vision, something for your life that you'd like to create, and right now, because it's the new year and people have resolutions, maybe there's something you want to manifest to become your reality. What is it? Is it maybe a different job? Is it moving to a new place, a new relationship, friendship? Maybe you want to get healthier. Maybe you want to just feel relaxed. Whatever your vision is for you, go ahead and scroll down, fill it in. You'll notice that not only will you be able to fill it in the comment section so it will get to me and so everyone will see it, but we also have a page up there where everybody's vision it's holding a space for is listed. And if you'll come back here often and just read the person's name and what they asked us to hold a space for, you'll be contributing to their manifesting that reality sooner, and they will do the same for you. You don't have to know who the person is. There's a desire. And you never ever have a desire unless you also have the ability to fulfill on that desire. I'm so glad that you joined me here today. I wish you a wonderful week full of blessings.